While the world was looking elsewhere, the Solstice Portal arrived ahead of schedule, and it's already rewriting the energy of your entire year. The shift isn't looming in the distance, it's not coming soon, it's here, unannounced, uninvited, unstoppable. This year, the solstice didn't enter, it seeped in. Quietly, like a whisper through the cracks. Maybe you felt it. A sudden stillness, a strange intensity, a pause in time, as if something unseen had just crossed a threshold you never knew existed. Because something did. But this isn't just about the earth tilting or the sun lingering a little longer. This isn't just seasonal, it's spiritual ignition. The first flare of a force that's been sleeping deep within you, until now. And if you think the energy is already potent, just wait. There's one particular day in this portal that will hit you like nothing else has. I'll reveal exactly when it is, but not quite yet. Oh, and if you've already been looking forward to this solstice, feel free to leave a comment below. You can even drop 144 along with your comment if you want to align with the frequency of this shift. Because what's reactivating is bigger than just you. And it hasn't even shown its face yet. You're not imagining it. The energy actually is louder. There's a charge in the air, like the atmosphere is holding its breath, waiting to strike. It's not just spiritual, it's physical. Static zaps out of nowhere. Goosebumps in still rooms. Your body flinching at sounds or flashes of light that wouldn't have fazed you before. Colors are louder. The sun feels like it's hanging in the sky too long, like it's staring. This solstice portal isn't gentle, it's kinetic. It's buzzing. It's pulling things to the surface that didn't want to move. If you've been restless, it's not random. Even though the solstice is not here yet, the portal is wide open, and it's trying to pull you somewhere. Somewhere spiritual, somewhere precise. You just haven't seen the map yet. And what's waiting at that destination? It's not what you think. This fire doesn't want to burn you. It wants to crown you. There's no denying it. This solstice energy is powerful, sharp, even overwhelming at times. It's rushing in fast, rearranging the atmosphere around us and inside us. But here's what you need to know. It's not something to be afraid of. This isn't destructive force, it's transformative force. Yes, it may feel like your thoughts are louder, your emotions quicker, and time a bit more unstable, but under that chaos, there's a hidden intelligence. This current is calibrated. It's not random. It's targeting what no longer fits, pushing away the dust so something new in you can emerge, clearer, faster, and more focused. Many people right now are doing things they've been avoiding for months. Some are having long overdue conversations. Others are stepping into opportunities they once felt too small for. And it's not because they suddenly found courage. No, it's because this solstice light is clearing out fear like smoke. The fear didn't get solved. It just got removed. That's the thing about this light. It's merciless with illusion. It doesn't whisper gently. It doesn't ask permission. It burns through the fog and shows you what's actually there. And once you see clearly, you act without hesitation. So if you've been feeling a sudden urge to move, change, leap, or speak, trust it. That's not impulsivity. That's clarity finally getting a voice. This sun may have teeth, but it's not biting. It's revealing, and it's on your side. This isn't a turning point, it's a sorting. There's a layer to this portal that most won't notice. It's not just transmitting energy, it's analyzing. This solstice isn't just about activation or insight, it's also a scan, a subtle, silent test that runs through your attention. What you're drawn to, what grabs your energy, what pulls your emotion. These things aren't accidental, they're signals. You're being shown where your frequency is sitting, what patterns you're still holding, and what future you're aligning with by default. Think of it like a mirror that doesn't reflect your face, but your trajectory. And right now, everything you notice, crave, resist, or react to is shaping that trajectory faster than usual. This is the halfway mark of 2025. We're standing at a pivot point, but it's not just about where we choose to go. It's about what parts of us are being magnetized forward without even realizing it. The portal is open, yes, but it's also watching, so watch yourself too. If you're finding yourself oddly obsessed with certain thoughts or memories, if specific people or ideas keep showing up in your orbit, ask why, not in fear, but with curiosity. What's being highlighted in your field right now is likely what you're meant to carry, amplify, or outgrow in the next half of the year. Because the solstice doesn't just give light, it reads you in it. And based on that reading, everything changes. The silence after the storm is where the real message lands. Every solstice has a rhythm. It builds, it rises, it roars, and then, just when it reaches its peak, it drops. Not in chaos, not in destruction, but in a sudden, eerie stillness. If you've never felt it before, you might think something's wrong, like time slowed down too far, like you lost your place in the flow of things. But this isn't a malfunction. This is the recalibration. This is when the new setting gets locked in. From June 20th to 21st, as the Solstice Portal hits its peak expression, this drop will happen, a moment where something in the energy field turns hollow, but not empty. Think of it like the world going silent so that something deeper, something higher, can echo in without interference. And when it happens, your body might go quiet too. People describe it as spacing out without reason, feeling slightly above their own skin, like their mind is floating, but the world keeps moving. You might feel like everything is distant, like you're observing rather than participating. That's not disconnection, that's realignment. What's actually happening in that silence is the download, the embedding of new resonance into your system, the clarity that was sparked in the build-up. This is where it settles. This is where it finds its place inside of you. You don't have to do anything during the drop. In fact, trying to chase clarity or stimulation during that window only creates resistance. Let the stillness have you. Let your mind go blank. Let your soul recalibrate. Because the truth is, some updates don't come in sound. They come in silence. And that moment of cosmic hush, that's the universe slipping something golden into your frequency, without words, without noise, without effort. Because just before that silence falls comes the strike that starts it all. And if that stillness felt deafening, it's because it followed the strike, the bell tone that changes everything. This isn't a date. It's a strike, a tone, a spiritual resonance broadcasted through your bones. The solstice isn't building toward a gentle climax. It's hurtling toward a reverberation. June 20th and 21st aren't just special dates on a calendar. They're the strike of the bell, the tuning fork hitting the Earth's core. And if you think you've already felt the peak of this shift, you haven't. Not yet. When that energy crests, when that ancient sun aligns just right, you'll feel it. Maybe not in fireworks, maybe not in some grand vision, but in your nervous system, in your breath, in the way the light feels louder on your skin. People are going to describe this moment in all kinds of ways. Some will feel it as a spiritual ringing, like their entire body has become a bell tower, receiving something vast and invisible. Others may experience tears without knowing why. Not sadness, not even relief, just something ancient moving through the channels of the soul. And a few might simply freeze, pause, and sense something is happening, even if they can't put it into words. There's no right way to experience this, but make no mistake, it will be felt. This is not a cute astrological window. This is a remembrance event. It might come on subtly, or it might jolt you wide awake in the middle of the night. But when it strikes, you'll know. It's like the universe ringing your soul's name into the void, and your whole body responding, "I'm here, I remember." And here's the wild part. That frequency. It doesn't end on June 21st. It starts there. The tone keeps echoing through the days that follow, shaking loose everything false, everything brittle, everything that doesn't match your new alignment. So don't be surprised if things start shifting rapidly after. This isn't the end of something. This is the announcement of the next version of you. So when that moment comes, don't brace for it. Stand open to it. Let it ring through you. Let it awaken what's been waiting for centuries inside your bones, because the bell doesn't ring for everyone. It only rings for the ones who are finally ready to hear. The solstice doesn't pull masks off, it melts them. One of the most disorienting and eye-opening parts of this solstice portal is this. People stop being able to hold their masks in place. It's not always explosive. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a shift in how someone looks at you, a different tone in their voice, or suddenly the way they speak starts feeling off, not in words, but in frequency. You're not imagining it. The light coming through this portal doesn't just activate the physical or even the spiritual. It agitates energetic truth. It presses on the field around people until the facade begins to flicker. That friend who always seemed grounded, suddenly distant, cold, or too perfect. That person who's usually quiet. They speak, and their words hum with something deeply real. You may even notice strangers walking past you and feeling like they're radiating something. Joy, anxiety, deception, alignment, and you won't be able to explain it. It's not about judging, it's about recognizing. The solstice doesn't just expose others, it upgrades you. You'll begin to feel people before they even enter the room. Their resonance will hit you first, their words second. And here's the important part. When someone shows you something real, even if it's uncomfortable, don't look away. Don't romanticize or rationalize. Don't rush to conclusions either. Just observe. You're not being paranoid. You're not over-feeling. You're calibrating, because from now on, the frequency someone carries will matter more than what they say, how they look, or what you assumed about them. And yes, it works both ways. You're also becoming more visible. If you've been hiding your light, your truth, your magic, you'll start to notice that people react differently to you now. Some drawn closer without knowing why, others pulling back. That's not rejection, that's the resonance shift. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you radiate. And right now, everyone's signal is going out raw, unfiltered, and clear. So don't panic if it feels like certain connections are stretching, warping, or even cracking. This is not collapse, it's calibration. Your senses aren't passive, they're portals. During this solstice portal, your body isn't just a container, it's an interface, and everything it absorbs feeds something deeper. We often talk about energy alignment, meditation, but what we forget is that spiritual sensitivity doesn't begin in the clouds. It starts with the senses. What your eyes see, what your ears absorb, what your skin touches, what you taste, smell, breathe in. Right now, your spirit is wide open, and the inputs matter more than ever. That's why, during this window, you might feel strangely affected by things that normally wouldn't register. A song brings chills. A scent takes you back years. A meal feels like medicine or poison. Colors are louder, textures more emotional. This isn't exaggeration, this is spiritual absorption. So it's time to get intentional, not strict, not obsessive, just attuned. Eat what feels vibrant, not what you should eat. What makes you feel lit from within. Listen to music that doesn't just sound good, but unlocks something. Light a candle, not just for ambience, but because flame is ancient and your soul remembers it. Wear what makes your body feel like home, not costume armor. Because every choice you make right now, what you watch, what you wear, what you scroll past or pause on, is part of a conversation with your future self. The solstice isn't just celestial, it's sensory. And if your spirit is a flame, your senses are the fuel. Don't just protect your energy, curate it. So go where your skin breathes easier. Touch what feels alive. Listen to what echoes inside of you, not just outside. Because what you feed your senses during this solstice, that's what your soul will bloom from in the months ahead. When numbers chase you, don't run. Read them. You're not imagining it. You look at the clock and you see 11:11. Again, a receipt total might show up as 2222. The same 3 digits in a license plate on different cars. It's starting to feel like a pattern, because it is. But here's the truth most people skip. These aren't just angel numbers whispering vague encouragements this week. They're more like coordinates, personal markers in the digital dust. You're being trailed, not by spirits or signs, but by a memory your soul hasn't fully remembered yet. This portal, this exact window around the solstice, doesn't just open up energy. It opens access to codes you've interacted with before, in other chapters, other spiritual cycles, even other lives. And some of those numbers, you've seen them before, not just recently, lifetimes ago, because your awakening isn't starting now, it's resuming, and the numbers that follow you now are connected to threads you once dropped, choices you once paused, potentials you almost stepped into. These aren't messages in the usual sense. They're pings, echoes from something ahead and something ancient ringing at the same time. And the numbers? They are the trail markers. They show up when something's reactivating. They loop back into your field to nudge you. Go this way, not just in big decisions, but in moments you'd never expect. An impulse to take a different route home, an address you suddenly feel drawn to, a flight number that sends a chill up your spine and you don't know why. You will want to dismiss them. You'll say it's just coincidence. But this week, coincidence doesn't exist, only recall. You're not just seeing the numbers, they're seeing you back. The solstice light amplifies these frequencies. It tunes your awareness to things that were always in play, but hidden, buried, forgotten. So the next time a number trails you all day, don't just smile and move on. Pause, check what you were thinking at the moment it appeared, what decision you were about to make, because that number didn't just appear for meaning, it appeared for timing. This isn't about decoding, it's about noticing, because when you notice, that's when the next number appears, and the path continues. Your next chapter isn't waiting where you feel safe, it's waiting where you feel pulled. Right now, a strange gravity is setting in. You might have already felt it. A random street you've never walked suddenly calls your name. A town you've never been to shows up in 3 conversations in one day. A person you barely know sends a message, and it feels important before you even open it. This isn't imagination, it's orientation. There's something happening beneath the mind. A compass that doesn't care about logic or convenience has started spinning, not randomly, but toward a frequency that feels foreign but somehow familiar. A kind of sacred magnetism. You're not being curious, you're being summoned. This solstice portal doesn't just flood your field with energy, it redirects it. And one of the ways it does this is by lighting up energetic pathways you've never walked, but were always meant to. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about déjà vu or quantum loops. This is the soul sniffing out terrain it's never touched in this body, but remembers deeply. The pull toward the unfamiliar isn't a glitch, it's a beacon, and it can feel irrational. You might even feel ridiculous chasing it. Why am I suddenly obsessed with a book I'd never read? Why do I feel like I need to visit a specific beach or a forest or a cafe in a city I've never seen? Why does this stranger's voice feel like a drum in my chest? Because instinct is louder than thought this week. And your soul, it's migrating ahead of your mind. Don't fight it. Lean in. You don't have to act on every impulse, but notice which ones don't fade. Which ones echo louder the more you ignore them. The solstice doesn't call you with logic, it calls you with gravity. This is the navigation shift, where familiar things start to dissolve and the strange begins to feel inevitable. Because where you're going next, you haven't seen it yet, but part of you knows it already. You didn't arrive too soon. You arrived right when the gate creaked open. You've been walking around with a feeling you can't explain. The world doesn't look broken, but it doesn't quite click anymore either. You find yourself speaking in half-thoughts, feeling emotions that don't belong to your day, sensing things in people they haven't even said aloud. No, you're not losing it. You're just early. You heard the knock before the others did. You felt the pulse shift before the calendar confirmed it. And while everyone else is still talking about the solstice as some distant upcoming energy event, you've already been inside it. This portal didn't wait for permission. It didn't send out formal invitations. It pulled open the veil, and those who were tuned in were pulled through first. Maybe that's why you've been feeling disconnected from normal conversations lately. Why the things that used to entertain you feel hollow now. Why your body wants different food, your soul craves different silence, and your dreams don't feel like dreams at all anymore. This isn't your system short-circuiting. It's your sensitivity turning into precision. The reason everything feels so loud, so vivid, so strange is because you're not just observing the shift, you're inside it. And when you're ahead of the curve, everything looks warped because you're seeing the bend before anyone else knows it's coming. It's not spiritual burnout. It's spiritual acceleration, and that comes with weight. You might feel like you're carrying something for which there's no name yet, like you're sensing a destination that hasn't appeared on any map. But that's exactly what makes you a front-runner in this moment. You're not here to wait for confirmations. You're here to receive the new settings as they come in, raw, before they're softened, filtered, and diluted by the world. And yes, that feels intense. It's supposed to. You're not broken. You're being initiated. This solstice portal didn't just choose a time, it chose people. It knocked at the quietest doors first. It whispered into the bones of those who weren't distracted. And you answered. So no, you're not crazy. You're not overreacting. You're not drifting away from reality. You're just moving ahead of the curve. The future doesn't come gently to the first ones. It arrives like thunder wrapped in light. This is your moment to claim it. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are simply one of the few who arrived on time. If you're still, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences, so feel free to share them in the comments below. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more meaningful content.